Hi and welcome back. We are starting the webinar now. My name is Chandra Joshi, representing Path InfoTech, and I'll be moderating the webinar today. Now, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope you are taking care of yourself and staying safe. Now, this is the second webinar in our EBS upgrade series. Today, we are going to discuss about the key enhancements in the financial module of Oracle EBS in the latest upgrades. Now, regardless of if you have already upgraded or if you are planning to upgrade, this session is going to benefit you with good insights about the latest upgrades. Great. Coming on to the speakers today. Today we have two Oracle experts with us. We have Ashish Goyal, who is the head of Oracle Applications Practice at Path InfoTech. Ashish comes in with more than 18 plus years of experience working on multiple Oracle EBS as well as Oracle Cloud application projects in multiple industries. Hi, Ashish. How are you?
Hey Chandra, I'm fine. Thanks a lot.
Great. Glad to have you here. We also have Vishal Saxena, who is our domain expert in Oracle EBS financials at Path InfoTech. Vishal has more than 17 years of experience in finance and accounts in Oracle EBS as well as Oracle Cloud applications that cuts across multiple industries. So Vishal, welcome here.
Hello Chandra, hello Ashish, hello everyone.
Great. So glad to have both of you here. Now, from here, I would request Ashish to take the journey forward and give us a insightful session. Hi, Ashish. Over to you.
Okay, thanks Chandra. Hi, good morning everyone and welcome to this second webinar in our series of knowledge session on what is the new feature functionality around the Oracle EBS applications. Hope you are doing good and safe. Let's us begin today's session with a quick recap what we have covered last time. Last time we have covered the Oracle EBS roadmap. What are the upgrade options are available? In the Oracle EBS roadmap, Oracle is doing continuously improvement and innovation transformation, the latest release of Oracle application, that is 12.2.9 application, and it is available till 2031. The Oracle applications 12.1 application support is ending in December 21, and the database 11G supports is ending in December 20. And recently Oracle has announced 19C database is certified with both the version of the application, 12.1 application and 12.2 applications. Organization who are on 12.1 and using the database version 11G or 12C, it's a right time to upgrade their applications and the database version. Now, what are the options are available? In the last webinar, we have discussed various options in detail. Just a quick recap. The option 1 is stay as it is. Option 2 is upgrade and stay on-prem. Option 3 is upgrade and move to the IS cloud. Option 4 is coexistence. Generally, we have seen most of the customers are using Oracle EBS applications and they also implement the SaaS application, and those two applications are tightly integrated with each other. The next option is implement Oracle SaaS applications. So here we are recommending the option 2 or option 3. In this slide, we talked about, we have categorized the new feature and functionality into the various bucket like foundations, like financials, supply chain, manufacturing. And if you see in the middle of the section, there is an enterprise command center. This is the one of the single biggest innovation that Oracle has done to the Oracle EBS suite application and continue to enhance ECC with every new version of releases of Oracle EBS applications. The next part is, as we all know and experience, that the user interface of Oracle is not a latest and greatest. Oracle has really worked to come up with a modern UI. And there are also 400 plus desktop indicators are available to upload your information or data using the Excel spreadsheet to the Oracle EBS applications. And the next thing is online patching. Online patching innovation is more relevant to the technology people, but rewards of these innovations are more to the business and the business user side. In the earlier version of Oracle EBS application, whenever there is a requirement to apply a patch, complete downtime starting from the preparation to the cutover. Now, from 12.2 onwards, the downtime is required only the cutover phase. So it improves the availability of the system. Now there is a poll question in front of you. We want to know your application and the database version before we move ahead.
All of you, probably you can see the on your screen the poll. Request you to mark your choice. So I think we have it, Ashish. Over to you again.
Thanks, Chandra. Now I would like to invite Vishal Saxena, our finance expert, to talk about ECC and the other key new features in 12.2 application.
Thanks, Ashish. Good morning to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the new features that Oracle has provided in the 12.2 plus applications. So 12.2.9 being the latest one. So the most important feature that Oracle has released related to the financials is integration with the approval management engine. Other features relates to GL integration with FAH or the Fusion Accounting Hub. That relates to the reporting perspective. There is another feature related to period closing of the AR module. That is a sweep transaction feature for AR. Other features like scheduling of APR netting and cache reconciliation for the retrospective transactions. Some new features related to IFRS 16 and ASC 842. There are also features related to other modules and applications like order management, purchasing, inventory, and manufacturing. We will be taking up these features for such modules in the webinars to come. Now, discussing the most important feature which Oracle has released in the 12.2 plus application. So this feature is actually an integration of GL approvals with the approval management engine. So now currently the GL approvals are linear approvals. They are supervisor-based approvals, but going forward, these approvals are tightly integrated with the AME, which actually means that you can now have parallel approvals, you can have vacation rules, transfer approvals. All these rules can be built up in this GL application for the approval of JVs. So this is an ask for a lot of organizations using Oracle, and that has been fulfilled by Oracle with releasing of this feature. Now, the second important feature that has been released by Oracle relates to AR period closing. So AR period closing, in AR period closing, Oracle has introduced the sweep transaction feature. The feature was available for AP module, but not for AR in the current versions. With Oracle releasing this feature, now the users will be able to sweep the exceptional transaction to the subsequent period. Currently, they cannot do it. They have to resolve those transactions in the current period or put it on a close pending status. Now, going forward, in case a transaction is showing some error, and it could not be resolved, maybe due to a bug or a pending patch or a data fix, users can sweep these transactions and close the period and move ahead with the management reportings or statutory reportings. There will be a standard report at the bottom of the slide, which you can run and keep it for future use. So this is a very important tool and saves a lot of time and energy for AR period closing. Now, now we are going to discuss about the ECC, or the Enterprise Command Center for Financial Applications. ECC command centers are available for most of the modules of financial stream like GL, payables, receivables, fixed assets. Some new command center has been introduced for lease management. Command centers are available for project costing, project billing. These command centers are also available for supply chain, manufacturing, and other modules like HRMS, contract lifecycle management, etc. Today, our focus will be on the financial module itself. For rest of the modules, we will be discussing in the subsequent webinars. So these enterprise command center are basically integrated dashboards, predefined dashboards. So these are 90 plus CD dashboards across 25 plus modules, and they come with no extra additional cost. So the users will not have to pay anything for the license fees. So these command centers, why they have been touted as the most important innovations? Because they help in increasing the organization throughput, helps in decision making process uh, for the users or the controllers. We will see how they help in the decision making processes in that slides to come. Now there is a poll question in front of you. So how many of you have experienced ECC?
Again, there should be a poll in front of you. Please mark your choice. I think we have it. Thanks all of you. Over to you, Vishal.
Thanks, Chandra. So the results of the poll suggest that most of you have not experienced much in Enterprise Command Center. So I believe the next few slides related to ECC will be really interested for you. Now, going a little deeper into ECC. So ECC are the pre-configured dashboard, as I told you earlier, which can identify the priority transactions on the desktop. So a payables manager or a finance manager or a controller will be able to see the priority transactions related to their fields or their roles, and they can easily act upon such transactions because these dashboards have an inbuilt capability of drill down to the final transactions, which actually means that the user from the dashboard can actually go to the Oracle forms and view the actual transaction and even rectify, correct to accounting, or validate those transactions directly. So that's why it is touted as one of the very best innovation Oracle has introduced in a near future in Oracle. So these dashboards uh, are also very interactive tool, and a user can get the ready information available on their desktops. Currently, the users has to extract the data from Oracle and convert that data into actionable or usable information. Now, with the availability of these dashboards, users have the exception data right in front of them to take actions and to take decisions. Now, more into ECC, so these ECC also has an inbuilt capability of data security. They pick up the data security based on roles and responsibilities provided in the EBS. So, like unlike any other tool or a data warehouse BI tool, where the user roles and responsibilities have to be created, these data boards actually picks up the security from the EBS application. So let's take a case where there is a payments manager or a payables manager. So the payments manager will not be able to view the dashboards related to the payables manager, and payables manager will not be able to view the dashboard related to the payments. So the roles and responsibilities which are built inside the EBS application will be used to view and update the data on these dashboards. Apart from them, these dashboards are actually integrated with the Oracle EBS UI. So they are like any other responsibility available to the users. User does not have to switch any windows or anything like that. They are rightly available in front of them on their dashboard. There is no separate login or stuff like that for these ECC dashboards. So apart from what we have discussed now, one question that I hear a lot of times related to ECC dashboards is that are these dashboards customizable? So the answer to this question, yes, these dashboards are customizable to a certain extent. If you see the screen in front of you, the left hand side there are various filters. On the right hand side there are charts, summarization bars, and tables. So user can want to change the chart type. They can change the chart type based on their own requirements and need. Like you see, there is a chart type like pie chart in front of you. Now the user want to see the information in a, let's say, bar chart. So just click of a button, change the chart type, and the information gets updated real time on these dashboards. On the left hand side, if you see the filters, so these filters can also be used to refresh and change the information as per the liking of the user. So you can use the filters related to geography, related to the suppliers, related to the amounts, or even the due dates or invoice dates. So these date parameters, invoice amount parameters, supplier parameters are all available on these left hand side of the screen, which we call as refinements. So these refinements will be used to filter the data as per the requirements of the users. Now, like any other Oracle module, Oracle is releasing various versions of ECC as well. So the latest version was released in March 2020. This version, in this version, Oracle has released new dashboards for payables, for receivables. A separate command center has been released for financials, for lease financials, which we will be discussing in the slides to come. There are other important features that has been introduced in this March 20 upgrade, which are exporting the data to Excel. So in the earlier versions of ECC, users were not able to export the data to Excel, but now with coming of this feature, users will be able to export the data in Excel and forward the same to the various users as per their requirement. Another very important feature that has been introduced in this ECC March update relates to saved search. So saved search is like a custom search criteria which has been built in this application for the users to create a custom search and revisit that information after the rectification of data. This helps in comparison of data between a certain period of time. Let's take a case where data has 5 transactions which are incomplete. Now, when I create such data, I save that search. Once the search is saved, I extract that data and send it across for rectification to the receivers manager. So receivers manager acts upon that in next couple of hours and said to me that now the data is all rectified. I can pull out the same data based on the same search. If the data is not rectified, so let's say out of 5 only 4 are rectified and one is still pending, then we get the information that still one information is pending and the receivers manager is actually uh, not completed his job. So we will be the managers, the financial controllers will be able to control a lot of things and compare data based on this saved search. Now, moving on to the module-specific command centers. Firstly, first module that we have picked up is the Payables Command Center. So Payables Command Center is a command center which helps in optimizing invoice processing, cash flows, also helps in cash forecasting, managing your early payments or prepayments. So these command centers are an important tool as the users get the exceptional data or information right in front of them. The statistics related to holds, the statistics related to pending approvals or invoice validations is actually directly available in front of the users. Apart from these day-to-day activities, these command centers are of absolute brilliant use during the payables month-end processing. How? So just take a case where there are certain invoices which are on hold. These exceptional transactions will be available to the finance controller on his desktop. So now the finance controller has two options. One, drill down to the data, extract it into Excel, and send it to the payables manager for rectification. Or he can actually drill down himself to the final transaction and rectify the transactions. If the holds are manually released, he will release them manually. If they are not, if they are system holds, then he needs to rectify the transactions. Once the transactions are rectified and he can directly do the create accounting, run the create accounting from the same transactions. And when he comes back, he sees that all the transactions, exceptional transactions are now gone. He will be able to close the period easily and quickly. So this helps us in saving a lot of time and energy during the month-end closing. Moving on to the receivables command center. So like the payables command center, receivables command center helps the organization in optimizing their collection cycles, increasing their cash flows, and helps in cash forecasting. They also helps in reducing the DSOs or also helps in identifying the customer delinquencies quickly. Since all the invoice related data is available on the dashboards and the users will be able to identify the delinquencies or identify the outstandings, the due invoices quickly to take action upon. And you can also ask your collectors to go to the various customers who are you believe that will take a longer time to make the payment. Apart from this, as I said, for the payables dashboard, receivers dashboards are also helpful in month-end processing. So let's take a case where there are certain incomplete invoices in the transaction in the system. During that period, those transactions are readily available on your desktop. So users can directly drill down to the final transaction, complete them, do the create accounting, and the period closing can happen very quickly. Otherwise, what they would have to do, they would have to run various reports like incomplete transactions report, and then identify the transactions and then rectify them going back into the system. So that's why this whole dashboard or e-command center thing helps in early closure of the periods. So like the payables and the receivables command center, there is an asset command center available. So these assets command center again help us in, help clearing the pending transactions like reclassification, transfers, location transfers, updating the locations. They also help us in monitoring capitalization spendings, analyzing depreciation expenses, and stuff like that. And not to forget the period closing. So again, like the payables and receivables command center, assets command center period closing can also happen very quickly based on these dashboards. Now, as I have told earlier in the presentation that in March 2020, Oracle has released new command center for IFRS 16/ASC 842. So as we all know that these are the new lease standards that have been introduced from June 2019, and Oracle has now come up with these dashboards for managing these leases. Now, people with dual reporting will find it very easy to analyze their lease transactions, so to analyze their future lease liabilities, the impacts on balance sheet, to minimize their future costs. Not only that, the lease managers in the organization now can compare various leases on the desktop itself with these command centers and take decisions. Just to give you an example, let's take a case where there is a particular equipment or a laptop that has been, taken on lease, or an earth moving equipment that has been taken on lease. So five such equipments has been taken on lease from various vendors, and each vendor has a separate lease rent attached to it. Now, with these dashboards, the lease manager will have, can have the comparison of these equipments right on his desktop. He will compare what is the minimum lease rental against the, equipment. So he has multiple choices. Either he terminates the lease where the cost is high, or he can wait for the renewals. Once the renewals are done, then he can shift the lease contracts to the vendors who is providing the least cost for these equipments. So you see, these lease dashboards are very helpful in decision making, like renewals, residuals, or terminations. So apart from the decision making aspect, the statutory aspect of these lease dashboards is also very critical. So organizations having dual reporting requirement of US GAAPs or and IFRS will find it very important and very helpful. So in case you have a right to use or an operating lease for the asset that needs to be reported in the balance sheet, uh, you can easily filter the information related to these regimes, uh, as the filter of these regimes is available on the left hand side in the refinements. So if you want to see the IFRS 16 related, you know, asset costs or the projections or the lease liabilities, just select that and the dashboard refreshes in front of you. Now you just want to see the what is the case if you want to use the ASC 842. Just click on the select the ASC 842 on the refinements window, and the data refreshes. You will be able to see the data for the lease balances as per AS 42, or the projections based on AS 842. Thus, these lease dashboards are really helpful in maintaining the statutory requirements of these two standards. Now, moving on to the ECC deployment structure. So ECC needs to be deployed on a separate ECC managed server. It's not that separate server is mandatory, but it is better that if we have a separate ECC managed server for these ECC dashboards. Regarding the functional configuration, so a very minimum level of functional configuration is required to start using these dashboards. So it is actually very user friendly. Apart from these, the WebLogic Server 12c gets automatically installed for these ECC dashboards servers. But one very important thing, or rather couple of very important things related to these dashboards are that the minimum EBS application version required for EBS for ECC dashboards is 12.4 and higher. So if any organization is on 12.1 or 12.2, they will not be able to use this ECC structure until they upgrade and move to the latest version 12.8 or 12.9. Another aspect is that these ECC dashboards are available on Linux servers only. So, but I believe that Oracle is making continuous improvements in ECC dashboards. So, going forward, Oracle will introduce other OS and other servers as well and incorporate them for ECC structure. Now there is a poll question in front of you, and we would like to understand from you what actually you would you like to explore more on the ECC part related to order management cycles, or you can say HRMS cycles, or procurement, or manufacturing?
So again, the poll is in front of you. Please mark your choices. So I think we have it. Thanks again, all of you. Vishal, back to you.
Yeah, so it looks like a lot of people are interested in reviewing these dashboards. So probably we will share the invite of the future webinars to you all so that you can experience more on the supply chain front, on manufacturing front, or the HRMS part. Yeah, so now we can move to live demo of ECC. Give me a minute, I will be logging on to the application. So now, hope you guys are able to see my screen. So now, you see, this is a new feature of Oracle EBS, wherein Ashish suggested that Oracle is improving the UI. So there is a new UI or the landing page which has been introduced by Oracle. It is called as a tree structure. The original structure, the simplified structure, is also available with you. You can still use that. Moving on to the ECC dashboards, you see two icons here related to receivables as well as related to payables. So first we will have a look at the receivables dashboards. So the information that you will be seeing here actually relates to, for reference purpose only. So you may see certain customers or, data related to specific customers or vendors, but that is only for reference and not the actual data. So if you see the current set of data, so this is a receivables dashboard. So the dashboard has a typical dashboard has four parts to it: a summarized data, then the charts, and then the detailed result table. And if you see on the left hand side, these are the various refinements available. So if you see that the summarized data picks up the outstanding balance for the supplier outstanding, and the data basically picks up the aging of such transactions. Now, if you see, if I just want to see a data for a particular customer, I can click on that customer and the data gets refreshed automatically for that particular customer only. Now, even the transactions and the below of the table are also related to that customer. So apart from these very good feature here, you just click on the information and what you see here is the actual invoice that is created for that particular customer. You want to review that invoice and you will be sure that this was the one that was sent to the customers. Yeah, going back to the dashboards, I told you there are various filters available, so I'll be selecting a few of them. I just removed the other table as a filter. Now I pick up certain transaction level filters here. So I just wanted to change the amount here, and I want to see instead of 1.2 million, I want to see 10,000 invoices up to 10,000 only, and I put select filter. Now you see the data actually relates to those 10,000 amount comes on the screen, and the transactions related to that only will be available on the screen for view. Like this, I can change the due dates as well. So I want to view the outstanding invoices, let's say from 31st of January to, let's take a case up to 29th of February, and I click on select filter. Now the data gets refreshed based on the dates. So you see, these dashboards are really, really helpful in analyzing the data from the as per the roles and responsibilities of the users. I have another dashboard for you from receivables part only. So this basically relates to the billing process. So I just remove the filters here, and you see that there are certain exceptional transactions that are actually appearing here. So if you see on the top, there are 7 incomplete transactions. So these incomplete transactions are actually will stop you from period closing. Now, I want to see the transactions related to a particular customer, so I can just click on them and the data refreshes for that particular customer. Now, a very important feature I suggested that a drill down to the final transaction. So what can I do? I just click on the transaction and see what happens. So the system will actually take you to the Oracle web form for actually taking action on that particular transaction. So you see the invoice 10080 is now in front of you in the form of Oracle form. So this is an incomplete invoice as was suggested in the dashboard. What action can I take? I can click on complete, and it says there is an error. I can actually see there are certain errors related to accounting, and I can update those, take decisions on those, and then save them. Then probably I'll be able to complete. Now the transaction is complete. I was able to save a lot of time. Otherwise, I have to run multiple reports and then analyze these transactions and rectify these transactions. Other actions that I can take on this transaction are like create accounting. I want to view the balance, or I want to see the distribution, the sales credits. It is like completely like working on the Oracle EBS, but the navigation that you see, it is the exceptional transaction available on the dashboard, and from there I drill it down to the actual transactions. This will actually help a lot in period closing. So like the receivables command center, there is a payables command center also available with us. I just click on that, and now we will be able to view the dashboards related to payables. So what I do, I just quickly click on a dashboard related to holds. So as per my experience, I believe there are certain types of hold which are available on the month end, and due to this, I am not able to close the periods. Now, Earlier, I would have to run a holds report for extracting these transactions. Now these holds are directly available on my desktop. What type of holds they are? These are distribution variance holds. In case there are other holds like line variance or payments hold or invoice hold, they would be available as well on the screen. So you see there are a couple of suppliers for which the transactions are on hold. Now, what type of transactions are these? I can see these transactions at the bottom. So these 4 transactions are there which are having on hold. But what type of hold? Are these actually distribution variances? I can click on hold details and see the system shows me that these are distribution variances hold. So the sum of the distribution does not match with the total of the invoice. Hence the hold has been applied. So now again, the user can drill down to the actual transaction and rectify the transaction, rectify the amounts, and then again do the create accounting, run the create accounting, and do the period closing. This is extremely helpful during period closing. So that is it from my side. Over to you, Chandra.
Thank you, Vishal and Ashish, for such a wonderful session. So now this is the time for Q&A. So I request all of you to, be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. So we already have a couple of questions coming in. So Vishal and Ashish, I'm going to take it one by one. First question comes from Prince. He says, do you mean the ECC will provide real-time, I guess it should be data. So do you mean the ECC will provide real-time data?
Chandra, these dashboards are near to real time. So there are certain procedures or programs that needs to be scheduled after updating the data in EBS. And once those program gets completed, the dashboards gets updated. So you can say they are not real-time data. It is a near to real-time data.
Okay, great. So another question, can we add more filters to the available refinements?
The refinements available are basically, based on the business area or the work area. So if it is a payables work area, these are predefined refinements. For invoice, there is another predefined refinements. So we may not be able to actually add new refinements. The core reason for this is that right now these dashboards are not available for custom table. So I believe that this feature is going to come in near future, but as of now, since this feature is not available, the refinements available are seeded refinements only. Right.
Okay. Another question, as ECC seems like an extension of eBusiness Center, how is the performance of ECC and how customizable is it?
So regarding the performance of ECC, yes, ECC has its own resources. So it is based on your server configuration. So if you, as suggested in the PPT, if you have a separate server for ECC, I don't see the performance being a problem. Obviously, the server resources are key. It is not mandatory to have a separate server. You can still have these ECC dashboards on your same servers, but it may impact if your resources are not up to the mark. So basically, the performance is not bad. I think it is pretty good as you have seen in front of you. Regarding the customization options, I believe that yes, these are partially customizable right now. We can change the chart types. We can, update the filters. We can even create the tables, the data tables that you see at the bottom. You can create new tables, and you can get your data based on your requirement. But the filters and the refinements are seeded, and you will be able to see the seeded tables and the seeded filters data in those tables as well. So I believe that from customization perspective, I think they are customizable, but they cannot be built on a custom table.
Okay. Another question, did ECC can be generated multiple KPIs with his drill down?
Multiple KPIs. I believe I'm not able to fully understand what the
Okay.
person
So
member is expecting here.
probably we will answer this question through email, with
Yeah,
more
yes,
clarity.
certainly. Yes,
So
yes.
another question, are there any limitations in drill down functionality?
No, I don't think there is any limitation. You can, the only limitation is that if you have the roles and the responsibilities to, there are multiple roles, like you have a view, right, and you have a, actual data entry, right. If you have a view, right, you will be able to drill down to the final transaction. But if you don't have a right to actually, enter a invoice, then you will not be able to update that transaction. So that is the only limitation, because it takes up the roles and responsibilities, the security from the EBS.
Okay. Another question, within the ECC dashboards, how broad is the access? Can they be configured to show data across multiple OUs or ledgers to create a global view?
Yes, you can select data. You can select multiple operating units in the ECC dashboards, and you can create the dashboard, single dashboard for that data. There is no limitation to an operating unit or a ledger. You just need to add it in the filter criteria, and the data starts showing up.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. Another question, are the ECC dashboards come out of the box when upgrading to 12.2.4 or higher, or customer need to configure them?
Actually, there are separate patches for ECC. So it is not that for, if you upgrade from any version to 12.2.4 or above, the ECC comes along with it. It just these are patches available. You can opt for having these ECCs. If you don't want these ECCs, so you don't apply those patches. So yes, you need to configure them. You need to apply the patches, and you need to do some configuration. But that is a very basic configuration from the functional perspective. Yes, from the patching perspective, there is some activity required, and probably a separate server. It depends on their server resources.
Another thanks, I believe that answers the question. Another question is, are the ECCs you showed us out of the box or customized?
The ECCs that we showed are out of the box and provided by Oracle itself. So there is no custom ECC that we created. So, but the charts or the data filters, they were custom. So we created. You can also customize those dashboard based on the filters available to you. Like I suggested, the operating units or the ledgers. You can even create new tables. So that from that perspective, the data that we provided related to, a custom chart or a custom representation. But if you see that if you want to have a dashboard or a command center specifically on a custom table, no, that is not possible, and our data also was not representing that.
Okay, thanks. I believe that answers. Another question quickly. Do you have an option to define hold threshold like 5% or USD 100, whichever is less, as price or quantity holds in the new version of Oracle?
Come again? Sorry, I missed your question.
Yeah. The question is, do we have an option to define hold threshold like 5% or USD 100, whichever is less, as price or quantity holds in the new version of Oracle?
I believe I have not seen that. So those hold thresholds are still not available in the latest versions.
Okay. And one last question, can we have one-time, it's on-time payment matrix will also calls out root cause like invoice received late or hold delayed the payments?
So to answer your question, so the data available can be filtered based on the due dates. So the due dates, as I suggested that on the refinement tab, I want to see I just put the date filter as a due date filter, and the data gets refreshed based on that criteria. So if you want to create your own criteria of filtering the dates or the due dates, so that is possible.
I believe that answers the question. One small question, does ECC4 works with 12.2.4 as well?
Yes, it works with 12.2.4 and above.
Okay, great. And just last question, is there any separate license cost for ECC?
No, there is no separate license cost. They comes free along with your EBS licenses.
Okay. Thank you, Vishal. I believe that is all the time we have for question and answer round. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time and joining us. We appreciate you being here. Ashish and Vishal, thanks again for the very informative session today. We will also share the recording of the webinar with all of you very soon. Once again, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.